What are you hoping you might end up with for the full year this year?
Well, we've had a really good first half, as you know, and since then, this month particularly, we've had a really good month. Passenger growth is still rising very high, so I think if we can get the sales growth to match the passenger growth, then that'll be a good achievement, because when you get passenger growth as high as 18 or 19%, it actually affects your penetration, so it's very difficult to keep that momentum going. So that's our aim, is to try and come up with sales growth that matches the pax growth. If we get that, we'll be very pleased. We took a strategic decision because of space constraints that we wanted to go deal with the high end of the market, luxury end, because we were thinking 1D and it fits with the local population. That's worked very well for us. You can see the results. We're doing very well. So, but a strategic choice at the time. When we go to Midfield Terminal, we will have more time, more space, and I keep going on that you've got a normal distribution of passengers. You've got high end, you've got middle, whatever. And you're right, we don't really deal with the middle bit at all. We're very good at the top. I think DFS are superb at the top. I think they're reasonably good in certain terminals, Terminal 2 and Terminal 1A, at dealing with the low end. But the rest of the terminals, we're not so good at that. But the middle chunk is the big bit, that's the big opportunity for us. And that's where we can start to zone things in midfield.
Can you give readers an insight into why this Concourse D opening in 18 months is so important for the airport, and also obviously Dubai Duty Free?
The forecasts for traffic at the airport have been increasing all the time, and the present capacity of Dubai Airport is 72 million people a year. This year is going to hit 66. The forecasts up to 2020 say that the traffic is going to be 95 million. So the opening of Concourse D in the next year or 15 months or whatever is very important, because otherwise the airport will be out of capacity. But by doing Concourse D, it goes to 95 million, and the airport are forecasting that that figure will be reached in 2020. So it is an important thing. And it's important from our point of view at Dubai Duty Free, because we're going to put an additional 7,200 square meters of retail space in there.
So do you reckon once you've got that extra space, there'll be extra breathing space for people to shop? Do you think that'll help penetration?
I think so. Our penetration is very good at the minute. We're running at about 49% penetration, which is probably right at the top anywhere in the world. But of course we're working all the time to improve that a bit and increase it. And our forecasts generally are pretty good. We reckon this year we would hit 1.8 billion US dollars, and it looks very definite that we will. And looking forward, we think by 2018 we will be 3 billion US dollars. And we think at that time also we will be employing about 8,500 to 9,000 people.
You recently described Flamingo's highlights in 2013 as funding from Albright Capital and CDIB, various master retail concessions, plus big projects in Tangiers and other locations, including concessions for your own concept express convenience stores and Salvador Airport in Brazil. So as a strategist of the company, where does the Chachalita Deca acquisition fit into all of this for you?
Since all our merchandise comes from Europe, we were looking for a logistic platform in Europe, and that was the key driver to get into Chakali, because Chakali is got a setup in Antwerp, which could feed into our new geographies, especially North Africa and Latin America, and also support our existing businesses in Central Eastern Europe.
Okay.
So that was one of the key drivers. We are also into diplomatic business. We have a good presence in Africa.
For a long time, actually.
For a long time.
Yeah.
In fact, our business started with the diplomatic platform. We run a UN store in Kenya, in Nairobi, and we have a diplomatic store in Pretoria in South Africa. So the diplomatic part of business was an added value to our acquisition strategy for Chakali. It would get us into the diplomatic business, into heart of Europe. So, putting both the two pillars together, Chakali made sense. Chakali also was in the business of running 3 airport concessions, and that was synergetic to our Baltona business. So it made perfect sense to acquire Chakali.
Right. 2 billion is a lot of money.
Yes,
It's going to be a lot of contracts you've got to win.
absolutely.
You confident you can do that?
Yes, we are very confident we can do that because we have a de-risking strategy in place. While we are pursuing concessions and contracts, we are also rolling out business models which are perpetual, like duty-free border stores, convenience stores, F&B, diplomatic business. So our de-risking strategy is to maximize the number of formats, increase the geographical footprint, but focused in the emerging market space. So we are a pure play emerging market company.